Jalen Hurts questionable with an illness. Geno Smith also questionable. So could this be Drew Lock versus Marcus Mariota? Is this how this would turn out in terms of possibilities? Eagles are
Yeah.
currently at this point 3.5-point favorites with a total of 45. I think that total's come down just a little bit. But when we're looking at how to play this game, Joe, what do you want to do?
I don't know. Give me a scenario. I mean, isn't that how you have to handle it right now, talking about it on Monday morning? Like, what's the scenario? And this is how you play it. This is how we think the market would adjust. Okay, what we know about Jalen Hurts, so what we know is he flew out there, right? And he flew out by himself. That's the intel that we all have. So by him going out there and just knowing how Jalen Hurts is and the amount of times he's played through injuries, without knowing the severity of this illness, I'm thinking he's going to play. Plays, obviously not 100%. So, you have a compromised Hurts. That's what I'm expecting on the Philadelphia side. What do you guys think? Are you thinking it's more likely that we're going to see Mariota or what?
I'm thinking he plays too. And so, a part of me is like, when we've seen compromised Hurts, it hasn't been that bad. At least this team that can rely on the run game too. If he's not 100%, I think under the weather Hurts is probably better than Mariota.
I feel like I was fairly diplomatic when describing Mariota and what he can do for the Eagles. I can't be that way with Drew Lock for the Seahawks. Absolutely not. No way, no how. If he is out there, then it is doom and gloom for Seattle to move the ball down the field with any kind of consistency. And I get that, like, in his last appearance, like, things were good for spurts. I get that. A lot of that, I think, was play action. And definitely, I think both quarterbacks can thrive with play action passes, but I'm not sure that's going to work nearly as well, especially given that the Eagles now have Matt Patricia calling the defensive plays. I don't know how significant that is, or maybe it's a downgrade. I'm not sure, but I still find it fascinating, and having me go back and look at like how well or poorly Matt Patricia can call defensive plays. They had to do something. Right? Like that secondary, like granted, maybe they are regressing to the mean naturally, but I have to believe though, Joe, that this is a quasi-desperate move, because what else can you really do to try and improve this pass defense?
Fascinating decision. Okay, so now you're in the final month, and then the playoffs are right then and there. We'll see if you end up winning the division. If you're in play for the bye, probably not. To make the move now. They did. You're right. They did need to do something. And I could have told them that Sean Desai was a really bad idea. I experienced that here in Chicago. I don't think they ever dreamed that it would be that bad. Like this, just as bad as the secondary is, and you're not going to have Darius Slay in this game. And, it's a hunch. I don't have any information, but I'm thinking both quarterbacks end up going, and I understand why the total has dropped. It was 47. We're sitting here at 45 at the moment without knowing which guys are going to be out there. Both these defenses are awful. Both. I think we're going to see scoring. And even if one of the starters is out, I would still take the over. And if one of those starters is out, it's probably going to drop to 44.
To me, it's just more indifferent than anything else. I mean, I'm more concerned with, okay, if you are dealing with, say, receiver parlays, then maybe it's something where, can they get the yak? Can they get something where it's just 5 yards downfield and then they can do the rest of the dirty work? Metcalf certainly is capable of doing that if that's the case, but I don't know if that's, necessarily the safest play. I mean, it's 63.5 in terms of receiving yards. That seems about right to me. I don't know if there's anyone else, say on the Seattle side, like other than staying on the ground, that might make a whole lot of sense. But on the Eagles side, though, we were kind of having some fun with Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell, and guys like that. But with Gainwell at just 8.5 receiving yards, do we want to go over that because of this whole yak game?
That actually could be a good look.
Does anybody have a strong opinion on how this is going to play out? Is it going to be the Eagles playing from behind? Like, is that a possibility? I can see the Seahawks winning this game outright tonight. I could. And if you're going to, I mean, that's where it starts with parlays. What do you think the game flow is going to be? And if that's the case, guys like Swift, you want to go under.
context matters when having this conversation. The last time a running back won MVP was Adrian Peterson back in 2012. And I looked up the numbers. He averaged 5.83 yards per carry and had an EPA per carry of 0.05, which is outstanding for a running back. I think we forget that 11 years ago, that Vikings ground and pound attack was phenomenal. It was better than anything that we see right now. And these numbers are way better than what Christian McCaffrey has been able to do on the ground. For him, 5.3 yards per carry, so that's less. EPA per carry is negative 0.01, so that's less. Thing, though, with Christian McCaffrey is certainly a better receiver, 57 catches for 509 yards. So in some ways, I suppose in some way you can compare the two running backs. But again, context. Peterson did not have to go up against dominant quarterback play like Christian McCaffrey has to. The top 3 passers in the NFL back in 2012 did not have winning records. Drew Brees was 7-9. Matt Stafford was 4-12. Tony Romo was 8-8. So Peterson also had the benefit of a lack of winning quarterback play. Christian McCaffrey does not have that benefit, which includes Lamar Jackson and that outstanding performance he had last night, Joe. So again, when we're talking about the MVP race, there's a reason why Lamar Jackson has the second shortest odds at 5-1.
Dude, what the hell are you doing? Sorry, Aaron, I got to do it. It was so bad on Saturday. Not even bet on the Vikings. I know a lot of people were. I didn't even care. Yeah, not only do they completely give that game away, and I get it. You got to do your own version of the tush push. How come the Eagles are the only team doing it? Well, Kevin O'Connell didn't consider the fact that his offensive line stinks, and the Eagles have an elite offensive line. And when you have the tush push guy in there, maybe they should have some strength to them. But no, in a key moment in the game, Kevin O'Connell has the tush push guy, 5'8", 181-pound Brandon Powell. And we know how that one went. If you Google celebrities that weigh 180 pounds, the first thing you see is Axl Rose. That's basically what Kevin O'Connell decided to do in one of the biggest moments of the game. Dude, what are you doing? Kevin O'Connell, you're going to jail. And you know what? I'm going to jail. I know better. Sometimes we talk about these games so much that we don't even, what we know, we don't go back to. The common sense that we've known betting on NFL for decades and decades. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, how many times did I say, even in our power rankings, did I make them number 1? No, I made Chargers number 1. But they were up there. I said, this is a fade team the final month. And even though I made the Giants one of the biggest fade teams, I made a case because of the number against New Orleans because I hate the Saints so much. That was stupid, dumb call by me. I should have known. And I said it. Here's another situation. I literally said it. And I didn't bet on this game, but I threw it in a contest because I had to get a 5th pick. Like, Arthur Smith laying points in a divisional matchup? That's dumb. He should have covered, but he's got an idiot for the quarterback in Ritter with that pick that he threw. Like, very frustrating day as far as that goes. Will Levis. I said, how is Will Levis laying a field goal? I don't care what's on the other side. How is this happening? I didn't bet the game. I was off the game. But right then and there, while I'm saying that, I should be like, you know what? Take the Texans, even though they're missing all these guys. Will Levis up and down rookie season. He should not be favored by more than a field goal. Derrick Henry looks done. What do you have, 16 carries for 9 yards yesterday? So I'm throwing myself in jail. I'll be sharing a cell with Kevin O'Connell.
As for Dallas, this is them, man. I mean, it's like it's just them. I won't take them seriously as a Super Bowl contender until I see them change their spots, until I see them not have things that happen to them against the 49ers and against the Bills happen to them with regularity, especially when they're not playing in Jerry's world. So yeah. I never pick them to win the division. I never pick them to win playoff games. It's worked pretty well for me.